Hi everyone, welcome back to Plum Mashable. So this week we're going to be using Getaway from Planners Anonymous. I've got my own little getaway going on this week, so if you want to hear all about it, then just keep watching. Okay, so this actually falls at a really perfect time. I'm going away this weekend. It's not a getaway, it's not a tropical getaway by any stretch of the imagination, but I am heading to Perth. So I figured this kit fit really nicely in this week because it is a getaway. So what I'm going to start off with is, I think I want to use this paper, and I think I want to use the palm fronds up the side and then put these sort of things along the top. I don't know if that's going to work. I have a feeling that it might look a little bit not quite right, but I'm going to give it a shot to start with. So I'm going to put the washi down first. I love this washi, it's so pretty. And I'm just going to put it down this way. And I was going to say, the good thing is about this washi that it's thick enough that I don't need to white out the July, but I do. So I'm just going to white out the July first. I'm going to do both sides while I'm here. And we'll just go ahead and do the top on both sides of the page. And for this one, all I'm doing, sometimes I line it up with the line. This time I'm lining it up with the top of the page. This is just about the right size anyway, so it works really well. But if it sits down a little bit below that line, I'm actually really okay with that. We'll do the same thing for the other side, and then we'll cut off the excess. Second bit there was a little bit harder because I could see the line coming out from behind it, so I could see that it wasn't straight, so I just had to pull it up and try again. Oh, that looks so good. Could seriously do the whole day, just the whole week just covered in this washi tape. It's so good. I know I said this last week, but I think this was my favourite thing. There's no bleed. Like, there's absolutely no bleed from that ink. It's so fantastic. Okay, so for the palm fronds, whatever we want to call these, I'm just going to grab my trimmer in. I'm just using my little one at the moment because my big one's driving me bonkers. So I'm just going to use the little one until I learn what the heck I'm doing wrong. I'm just going to cut these two just to give me just the palm fronds, and I'll cut the coconuts off in a sec. I just want to try not to cut off the fronds if I can avoid it. I've just ended up with a couple of little slivers of the coconut on the side, but it's okay because I'm going to cut the fluffy bits off anyway, so I'll kind of do that at the same time because it doesn't matter if this isn't completely straight. I don't think you'll actually notice the little coconut bits once this is down. Do the same thing on this side. I'm just looking at it and I don't love it. I don't love it. But then at the same time I'm thinking maybe once I get going with it, it'll look a bit better. Part of me really wants to fussy cut all of the fronds, which is ridiculous because I can't do that. Maybe it's just that it's so wide. Maybe if I cut it straight down the middle and you have half on each side. I'm going to give it a shot because otherwise I feel like I'm not going to use it, so I'm actually going to try that and see what happens. So because I need this to cut in a really exact place, I'm just going to washi that down just so it doesn't go. That was just silly. I wanted to not waste some, and so then I wasted more. Oh, I actually have some washi scraps over here, so I'll use these. So I'm lining that at the top and the bottom because I don't think this is completely straight, which is fine. Probably being a little bit overzealous there with the tape, but oh well. Righto. Moment of truth. Oh, that's scary. Oh, that looks better already though. Whoops. So I'm just gonna cut the fluffs off again. I'm also, while I'm here, just gonna cut a little bit up the edge here and try and knock off some of those coconuts. I have a feeling this wasn't quite straight, which is okay, but I'm just going to try and get rid of those little slivers of the coconuts on the side, still staying as straight as I can. knowing that I probably won't be that straight, but I'll give it a shot. Oh, I think I like that better. I think when you put the other side on, it'll look a bit better. Yes, that's what I wanted. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it off at the top so that it doesn't knock over, it doesn't go over the top of the washi. And if I line it up at the bottom, so it's right on the bottom, that way I've got them lined up in the same spot, so the frongs will actually line up together. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue all down this side, knowing that I'm starting at the bottom, so a little bit at the top, don't need quite so much. Stick this down first. Sometimes there's just not enough at the bottom. So getting that right in the corner. This is where it doesn't really matter if it's not quite straight, because it'll kind of wonk out anyway. That's not a word, but we'll go with wonk. Shush. And I'm just going to grab my craft knife and just cut off that top bit. So I'm just cutting just through that cardboard. There we go. Yes. That's what I wanted. Righto, so do the same thing on the other side. It would have looked too wide. It would have taken, whoops, just the page there completely. Would have taken up way too much room and just would have looked horrible. So I don't get any sticky bits later, I'm just going to rub that now. Because we're going to use date covers, it doesn't matter that this is completely over the top. Now, I haven't got enough glue on this one, so I'm just going to put a little bit on the page. There we go, there's our frong. That actually looks really cool. I'm just going to punch the holes in just so I can keep an eye on where it's all sitting. Okay, yes, I'm liking that. I am. Alright, so we're going to grab the standard sticker kit, and I want to get the days of the week from in, I think, hold on, I always change my mind halfway through. Yes, standard sticker kit. I'm also grabbing the numbers from the extra sticker kit. So I'm going to put these down and I'm just going to stick them, actually, I'm just looking at the bottom going, do I need to put the bottom on first? I think I do. I'm going to use it just like that straight across, and I'm actually going to cut this with a knife now so that it's in the right spot. So I want the cut to be right down the middle of those two palm trees. I want them in the middle. So I'm just laying that out straight, or at least 99.9% straight. We'll cut this. Then we can stick that down and then we can put the dates on. The only thing I need to decide is if I want to cut off the palms at the back or if I want them to stay there. I think it gives it some kind of cool dimension. You can see the palms through the back. This is such a good washi for the bottom because it just makes it look like a real beach kind of escape. Very cool. Just making sure I've got no white peeking out there. It's always Thursday that ends up being a smaller day, doesn't it? That, and you really do get that full, like it is repeating itself just a little bit, but you do get that full sort of aspect of the island, which just looks really cool. I love that. All right, days of the week need to go down. This is the boring part, so I'm going to go really, really fast. Not changing any of the days. I'm just putting them down, putting the dates on top, and that's it. days of the week are in. You would notice I pulled up the Monday along there. It's only because I decided I wanted the 8 on the other side. No big deal. Just, it sometimes pulls up the colour, so I'm not worried about that. Okay, so for my super secret project, which I still can't tell you guys about, but I'm getting closer. I'm going to use the little TN sticker. I've got to remember how to do this. Yes, this is it. But what I like to do just to help me out, so if you've never seen this happen before, or never seen this sort of process, this is how you do it. So I like to grab a scoring tool and just score along that line. I just feel like it gives me something to help. I'm also going to score along this line too, just to give me a little bit more help. Pull it up. And then we score down or push down sort of on that line there. And then you fold this one back on itself, which gives you the little book shape. And then when you open it up, you don't fold, you don't do what I just did and crease it. But then when you stick it down, which we're going to put on Monday, I'm going to leave a little bit of white between the edges. And when you open this up, it looks like that. And I've got a little book where I can hide information in. It's not quite straight. Damn it. PA stickers have a little bit of give if you're quick. The longer you leave it, the less chance you're going to have of getting it up. And stick. Just go over a little bit. Can't always use undo. That will always do the job, but there's our little TN in the corner. Right, let's put some decorative stuff in here. So for my footy details, that's the next thing I'm going to do. I have already pre-made something for you. I made a little shaker. I know it's been a long time since I've made a shaker, but that Polaroid die cut was just screaming to be made into one. So that's what I decided to do. So it's going to sit just here in the corner. I'm just going to flip this over and mark out my hold. Might have to use my slightly bigger punch, because what I've realised is that I've actually put that on and now I can't get in the hole. But anyway, the bigger one will do the trick. Just didn't want to leave no room. And then I'm going to put on the back, I think I'm going to use the vellum. I'm just thinking because the vellum then's blue. No, I don't think I will. I think I'll use, I'm actually half tempted to use this. Alright, this is going to feel very wasteful. Very wasteful. I was going to see if I could get, and to do that I'd have to completely cut out the exact same spot on the other piece of paper, which I don't think is very clever. I'm just going to use normal vellum. I'm going to stop going through all of this. I'm just going to get my scraps out because I know I've got normal vellum. Oh, I just had a thought. Okay, so I'm just going to grab some vellum. And I'm going to use the stamps because I never use the stamps. Okay, so I'm going to grab, I love this idea. It's just popped into my head and I'm so happy. I'm so excited that I almost can't think right now. So I'm going to grab this big leaf one. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is just mark out where this needs to, where the pocket's going to be. I did have a pencil. So I'm just going to do it a little bit bigger, and then knowing that that's going to cut about halfway along. is just a really rough kind of shape. It'll obviously be different to that once we get moving. I'm going to grab a piece of white paper just so I can see this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is stamp a bit of a pattern. I think I'll use grey. This is a little bit like the tag I did the other week. Very, very similar. Okay, I've thought of something else. So I'm going to do these all in grey. So I'm just going to put the pattern down on the vellum. It's going to give it this real cool shadow kind of look. I'm going to go off the lines and I'm going to flip this around in a second so that it does sort of have different, not all the same way. The vellum moves a little bit, so just, damn, I hate that. Okay, I got a better idea. I mess up a lot, you guys know that. Thankfully, I have lots of vellum scraps. Okay, I'm gonna do this round the other way. So, I want to grab my Versamark ink first, and I'm gonna make one feature frong in the middle using some embossing powder. So I'm gonna put this right in the middle of the page. I'm just going to grab some embossing powder. No, this isn't mine. I've borrowed it. I'm just going to put that on there. And then we'll do so I'm using gold because that'll match all the other bits and pieces that we've got sort of going on in here. This is stuff I borrowed from Denise. She's being very kind to me at the moment and letting me borrow like half her craft room. I'm very happy. It's just got a little bit of something in there. That's okay. Okay, I'll put this back in and then I'm gonna hit that with the heat tool and then we can stamp the rest of it. Just before I do hit it with the heat tool, I'm just grabbing a paintbrush. I'm just giving it a little bit of a dust just around the outside. It's really hard to see, but there's just a light coating of the sort of gold dust. I don't think that'll actually emboss up. We'll soon find out. Better to try and dust a little bit off before we start, because it's definitely stuck once you're there, it's down. All right. So I'm going to hit this with the heat gun. Oh, how good does that look? And that's just going to add a little bit of something. So then I'm going to put all the other ones around the outside. I'm just going to do the whole page. Just because then I can cut off the excess. So it kind of ends up being a whole custom page of stuff. I always give the ink a really good, sorry, not the ink, the stamp a really good kind of wipe after I've used the embossing stuff, because it does kind of tend to leave a nice sticky residue on my stamps. I'm just sticking this down so that it sits still. It was moving around a lot, that last one. It was kind of bugging me. Okay, only other thing I'm going to do. I'm going far too over the top right now, but that's okay. Just going to grab a little bit of double-sided paper. Not double-sided paper. What is it? Adhesive paper. I knew what I meant. I'm just going to really quickly, just not intricately, because that would take forever, but just generally making a very basic mask, just so that I can go over the top of the gold frong if I want to, and it won't get any ink on it, because that way in the middle is the special one. So I'm going to start at the side of the page. I'm just going to miss this little, helps put it around the right way. I'm just going to put that right at the top, just so that I skip that line. And just go ahead and stamp this all the way along the page. And like I said before, I'm going to spin these around so that they're always a different direction. That's horrible. I'm not doing it again. So vellum's a little harder, I find, with ink. It doesn't sit quite as nicely, so you've almost got to push a little bit harder and pull up really cleanly to kind of get that really nice impression. So just be aware, I guess is the right word. Flip it upside down, put it under my sticker box, which is just going to give it some weight. So it's just going to sit over there for a minute while we keep doing everything else. So, right, we need some stickers, we need some bits and pieces to kind of jazz this up. I'm just going to leave these ones, where did they go? I'm just going to leave those ones, and then there's some other these ones out just for now. So I need to put in my gym sticker, which is going to be on Monday. So I'll put the little mini in on Monday. So love these new minis now that they're icons. It helps so much. And then I'm also going to put in, which one do I use? So I'm having my hair done on Thursday. So I'm going to put this little mini down here on Thursday. So I can write that in as well. Then we just need to put our flight details, or put my flight details in. Not ours, mine. I'm going. So this kit actually comes with a little stamp of an aeroplane, so I'm going to use that. I think this is so cute. And because I've already used grey, I'm going to stay with that grey tone. I'm not going to come out of it, because I think the black might look a little bit much anyway. So I'm just going to grab the little plane. Thinking, do I put it on a swipey? No, I think I'm just going to put it there. So I'm flying in the morning, so I'm going to put it, actually, I'll put it right on the side here, and I can write them. Goes our little plane. I'm going to do the same thing on Sunday. I'm going to put that at the bottom. I'm just going to go ahead and write all my details in very quick. I'm just using grey, and I'll be back in just a sec. The skinny washi, which actually looks like a to-do list anyway, with this cute little frangipani thing. So I'm just going to cut these so that it's straight. This might be a bit big yet, but we'll see. So just down this side, yeah, I think I'll have it a bit shorter. Might just have it up to that top one there. I'm just pushing gently just to almost score it, and then I just tear it off. We'll grab in one of the headers. We'll grab the little mini. That can sit up there. We'll just put Happy Mail in there. Alright, so now we need something down here. So, there are some very cool Polaroids, which I don't think I want to use the Polaroids because that makes it a bit too much. I really want to use this double one. I almost want to take up the whole of Tuesday, which is okay because I don't have a lot on Tuesday, so that's not a bad thing. Oh, that just looks so good. I'm going to do something similar on, I kind of can't on Saturday because I kind of need the room. because I will put all the details of everything I've got to do while I'm in Perth. I'll do that once they're all confirmed, because they're not confirmed yet. Just going to put this flamingo in the middle. Still gives me plenty of room to write things in, but just adds a little something there. And then we'll grab in a little pocket. You can see it a little bit, but not lots. So I'm just going to cut off the excess with scissors. And just to add just a teensy little bit to that, just to hide that glue a little bit in the corner. Just going to grab this little corner frangipani, just stick that. I'll cut the leaves off in a sec because they're not in the way, but no, don't like it. Leaving it, I'm going to leave it as it is, but I'll just add, I'm just going to put the single frangipani in instead. There we go, that's a bit better. And then I'll make myself up a little to-do thing in there that's not quite high enough. Alright, so I'm just going to grab a little bit more of that glue, put it up here because it's just not quite stuck at the top on either side, so I'm just going to give it a little bit more. The box did a very good job, but oops, let's give it a little bit more for a sec. This is why I love these clips, they're so good. Just don't want to use the clip too much on that side. Actually, we'll flip them around. That one doesn't have as much pressure, so because it's got the foam on it, it's going to compress the foam, which I don't want to do. There we go, and then we'll put our little footy details in the back afterwards. So I'm just looking at that and going, okay, what's missing? That box at the bottom is just going to be like a to-do box, nothing too fancy. I've got this little mini here that looks like she's working. We'll put her just there, so it's like my little work thing. What's that glue doing? That's better. Perfect. I think that took a lot longer than I wanted it to, but I think that's actually turned out really nicely. I love the shaker, but I think it's got the right kind of balance. I'm just going to put this, I'm actually going to sit it sideways, which I know it's not supposed to. That's better. Something about me in that top corner. Now I'm going to leave it alone. That is my week using Getaway. Like I said, I'm not going anywhere tropical, but I am going away, so it does kind of work. So let me know what you think of this one. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to be subscribed. Don't forget you can use my code to get 10% off your first Planners Anonymous box. It is in the description box, so go and check it out. Hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic week. I'm going to be very, very busy at the back end of the week, but as always, I'll do my best to keep up with the comments and answer any of your questions as you've got them. So make sure you still send them to me. Have a great week, and I'll see you again really, really soon. Sending lots of huggles. Bye!